My name is Kaeto. I am a co-founder at Nkali, and Nkali is a consultancy for businesses who are looking to scale and who are looking to break into a very wide market, right? So, without further ado, I'll start. So, the topic today is how to run a digital business, and the things to discuss are strategy and customer journey mapping. And these are very, very simplified versions of this subject, right? So I'll say that these things could be made very complicated by people. And something I found that I was really interested, my team and I were really interested in changing was the concept where we have a way of reading things on the internet where we go do research on how to change the way things work, but then we read things on how to run our businesses. But after we are done running our businesses, we after we are done reading how to run these businesses, we realize that exactly we can't exactly implement the things we learn in our everyday lives, right? So that's one of the bridges that we are willing to cross. That's one of the gaps we are willing to fill in Nkali here today and with this session. So strategy simplified, customer journey mapping simplified. We'll start very quickly with what strategy is. And yeah, what is strategy? Strategy is basically a high level plan to achieve one or more goals under conditions of, of uncertainty. So strategy is a high level plan to achieve a goal, one goal or the other, right? So um, the thing is, with strategy, what we are trying to do is accomplish a situation where we move from point A to point B. But what happens is we have a way of complicating things that should be super duper easy. And yeah, so don't complicate things. A strategy brief, right, should have a goal, whatever it is you want to accomplish. Because if you remember, our definition is how to achieve a goal with certain uncertainties, right? So what is your goal? What are your metrics? By metrics, I mean numbers, basically numbers. What would it mean for your business personally, or for the finances, or for the number of people you want to impact? But basically, what are the numbers and what are the timelines? So we already know most of us know what a SMART goal is, right? So what a SMART goal is: it is specific, it is measurable, it is attainable, it's realistic, and it's time bound. So every strategic brief that you're working on should be time bound, it should be realistic, etc., right? So I'll carry on with this. So let's work on a very quick brief for Mama Ibeji. So she's the mother of twins, right? So the brief is to develop a strategic plan for Mama Ibeji, who has twin daughters in their final year in the university and wants to be a grandmother in 3 years, right? Okay, so we are working with stuff that are very, very relatable. How is this? How is this brief accurate? This brief is accurate because it is specific, right? Her specific goal is that she wants to be a grandmother. So when people start businesses, they say very random things like, "Oh, I want to do a business." What is the business? Yeah. How would you know you're successful when there's no metric attached? A grandmother is someone whose child has a child. So there's a very clear metric here. In 3 years, she wants to have one grandchild. So the goal is specific, is measurable. It's measurable because what we are going to measure success is by knowing that she was able to have a child. One of her children was pregnant by one of her twins will be pregnant by March of 2022, right? So it's measurable. Is it attainable? Yes, it's attainable because the children are in their early 20s in the university and they're almost done with their education. They're in their final year, right? Is it realistic? Yes, it's realistic because many females have in this part of the world aspire to marry by their early 20s before they turn 25, 26, right? So it's perfectly normal, right? So I'll say, yes, it is realistic and it is time bound in 3 years. So how many kids does she want? She wants at least one grandchild in 3 years. So there's a time attached to how long it is that she wants to be done with her strategic plan, right? So the strategic plan is for Mama Ibeji, who has twin daughters in their final year in the university and wants to be a grandmother in 3 years. So let's start with Mama Ibeji's plan. So there are 4 strategic phases in this, right? The first strategic phase is between Q1 to Q3 of 2020. This is assuming that the year 2020 hasn't started, right? So between the months of Q1 is the first quarter of a year. There are 4 quarters in a year. Q1 is January, February, March. April, May, and June is Q2. And July, August, and September is Q3. So between Q1, that's January and September of Q2 of 2020, is Operation Discover, is what she's naming it, right? By this operation, it means finding source. The Operation Discover is finding suitable partners for her daughters. Operation Acquire is the second phase, which is for Q4, from Q4 to Q3, which is develop relationships with families that best suit her bill, right? Then Operation Retain is Q4 2021 to Q1 2022, right? Get the girls into committed relationships and married. Then Operation Bele is basically, I try to make this fun and relatable, right? So operation is for Q3 of 2022, which is to get her kids, at least one child, pregnant by March of 2022, right? So this is the 4 strategic phases of her plan: Operation Discover, Operation Acquire, Operation Retain, and Operation Bele, right? Okay, so let's carry on. This is a simple Operation Discover broken down. I have made this thing super duper easy, which is, what is your goal? What are the actions you need to take to accomplish these goals? What are the cost implications? And by what metrics would you know you've been successful and you've accomplished your goal? So Q1 to Q3, if you remember our operation plans, is this Operation Discover. This is Operation Discover from Q1 to Q3 2020, finding suitable partners for daughters. So this is it here, right? So from January to March, the goal is to find suitable partners through associations. What's she going to do? Mama Ibeji is going to define who a suitable partner is for herself. She'll write this thing down. What kind of families they'll come back. Associate with these families. How does she associate with families? So she's going to need to cast a wider net, right? Because she doesn't know enough people. But by doing this, what she's going to do is join places like churches, join places like maybe she'll get her husband to join Rotary Club. Maybe they're Anglicans. She will join church committees, or they're from Ilesha. What she's going to do is get in touch with their Ilesha community meetings in Lagos and be going for their monthly meetings. So what this will cost her is time. You know, this is going to cost her time, and this is going to cost her membership fees of all these associations, right? 300,000 naira by assumption. Yeah, so this is a very fictitious thing. By success metrics is a clear understanding of who the best life partner will be for her daughters, right? Of course, this is in her opinion. I want to say that I do not subscribe to this in real life. I do not agree with parents trying to do this to their kids, but it's just a fun example. That's why I'm using it, right? Yeah, interesting example. So the next step of this strategic phase, is April to June, which is to develop prominence in all these associations. That's her goal from April to June. So she joins more associations and becomes prominent in them and prepares to start hosting meetings. You know, so a lot of these communities, associations, what they do is they take turns hosting their client, hosting the fellow members, right? So she pays even more membership fees as she finds more associations to join. And she makes sure she has up to 15 families that have sons in each organization. So something she can do is find organizations where, oh wow, all these people, everybody in this association in church, their children are less than 10 years old. I'm going to leave these associations. I'm going to join only associations where the women are about my age and their sons, or the women are older than me. So their first children, their sons, are older than my daughters. So they are going to be more ready to marry than daughters, and than kids that are my daughter's age, right? So she will look for couples older than her in those associations, and that's the association she will join. She pays membership fee. These are her costs. By July to September, she now finally starts to host meetings. Guess what? Her kids were in final year at the start of the year. So by July to September, they would have been done with school. And her strategy is to develop schedule and be sure to, oh, I did complete this, I'm sorry, I'll edit this before sending, and be sure to get her daughters back into town in Lagos so that they can serve at this event. So her metrics will be that her daughters were present to serve. This will cost her hosting fees, because if you're hosting people in your house, it's going to cost you food, drinks, canopy, seats, etc., and more membership fees, right? So that's for keyword Operation Discover, right? Okay. Now, Operation Retain, to get the girls committed into committed relationships. This expertise will be from Q3 of 2021 to Q2, to the end of Q1 of 2022. How she's going to do this is, number one, between October and December of 2021, she needs to get them boyfriends, right? Her action is to see to it that her daughters pick boyfriends. What is she going to do What is she going to do to accomplish this? She's going to take things like get each daughter interested in some of the boys that come around, and she doesn't have a lot of time. You guys, this is 3 months and she needs to be a grandmother by her timeline. So she's going to get her daughters to serve at all those hosting events. She's going to see who her daughters are interested in. Everybody who the daughters don't like, she can stop those associations immediately and put more money and more time and become more prominent in the associations where her daughters like the sons that are there, right? So by January to September, once she has picked the guys that she's interested in, right? The daughters are looking to see the guys that they're interested in. She puts varying degrees of pressure on their daughters and their boyfriends to take their relationships to the next level, right? This is the courting and proposal stage. She manages breakups very well. She manages their quarrel. She advises her daughters how to be patient, advises everybody. She's a motherly figure. She's very welcoming to the sons, right? You know how parents overnight go from telling, at least African parents go overnight from telling you things like, oh, who is that boy? Why are you talking to him? Overnight, won't you marry? Won't you bring boyfriend? At least this woman has taken out the time to create the conducive environment for such a thing to happen. So the cost implication for advising and the rest of it is basically known, right? So this is Operation Retain. Both daughters are now in love and in committed relationships. By Q3 of 2022 to Q1 of 2020, Q3 of 2021 to Q1 of 2022, she's now planning weddings, etc., getting the girls wedded. Wedding costs are her fixed and are part of her fixed costs, and then her daughters are married, right? Now, Operation Bel-Air is basically the goal is to get her daughters pregnant. At this point, the action is cancel them. Be sure that emphasize the need that they should, on why they should have kids early. Apply pressure, use guilt if necessary. These are her tactics, right? Take them for regular checkups to the gynecologist, her daughters, or take the son-in-laws. Be sure to get the son-in-laws tested to show that they are able to get her daughters pregnant. Pay for hormonal pills if necessary. The cost implications here will be medical treatments and logistics, right? And the point is that minimum of March or June, between March to June, one of the daughters is pregnant, right? One of the daughters is pregnant. So that by the time she gets to this point, she would either be a grandmother by the end of 2023 or somewhere in the middle of, right, about to be pregnant. She'll be getting ready to go for a mugo or something, right? So that is basically how this is going to work. What happens if she doesn't meet a certain part of the strategic plan? So if she doesn't meet a certain part of the strategic plan, thank you for that question. That's a really good question. She now needs to go back to the drawing board, right? Maybe for example, let's take this courtship part. They are dating for, this is January to September, right? 9 months, and they are dating, and one of the girls now decides to break up with her boyfriend. Now, She goes back, understands what the problem was, quickly fix the problem with it. So based on whatever the problem is, she makes adjustments to whatever it is her strategy was before to accommodate getting these girls married, right? So you need to ascertain what the problem was and make adjustments based on the strategy, yeah, to get these people into their married homes, right? Now, that is basically a strategy plan. Let it not be overthought, right? Separate your actions. Understand what the goal is, first of all. Understand what the goal is. Get daughters pregnant. How will you do that? You need to counsel them. Like, break whatever your overall goal is into what tasks are necessary to get this done. And then daily break those tasks. What am I going to do? Maybe on Mondays, every Monday, she gets weekly reports from the daughters. So for example, here, July to September 2021, when it was Operation Acquire, one of the success metrics down here was daughters go on 3 dates weekly with different men, right? And before, have the daughters get dates before their NYSC kicks off in September, convince daughters to be friendly to get, employ tactics like guilt, lessons of forgiveness, and the joys of motherhood. What this will take is time. Reduce prospects from 12 families to 4 families and maintain a relationship with parents of the sons based on their daughters' preferences. Now, this is a breakdown of whatever it is her former goal was. Her goal in this place is to have their daughters get dates before their NYSC kicks off in September. Now, extensive dating period with the 4 different families that they've chosen from the 12. Now, notice that the success metrics in Operation Acquire goes from have 12 families over for dinner in a 12-month period. And this will cost you money for dinner fees, right? From a 12 family, reduce them to 4 families from January to June, and maintain relations only with the people you need, in your specific, that your daughters are based on the preferences of your daughters. Reduce it from family of 12 to family of 4, and then your daughters can now start going on extensive dates. And what this will cost you is pocket money for your daughters and new clothes and makeup to meet up with all their date requirements, because they can't keep wearing the same clothes over if they are dating a wide range of people. So yes, sometimes it could affect your timeline, but the point is, if you're not trying enough things, you're going to be stuck in one spot. What people need to do is to be biased towards action, right? Take action whenever it is you feel something isn't working out. Be biased towards action. Fail fast and fail forward. Understand what works. If the first time she had her children over, she scared one of the families away by being too forward, instead she can now decide that she will get her daughters to serve instead of the guests to serve, instead of talking about their daughters in their absence. Certain things she can do. If she tried with one family when the families were still 15, to talk about the good virtues, or talking about how her daughter is graduating with first class, or how good one other daughter is, Kende is with cooking, or how intelligent Taiwo is. If she realizes that talking about her daughter scares them away, she can now decide that, oh, by the time she's down to 12 families, because she has scared 3 families away and there was a hiccup, she will now decide that she will not talk about her daughters. This time around, she'll get her daughters to serve the guests when they come, so that they can see how pretty they are for themselves. Do you understand what I mean? So based on the mistakes that are made in the past, she will make adjustments regarding whatever it needs to be done. So all the steps are going to be sent to you so that you can read a little bit about the differences that are the differences that happen stage by stage, and the different changes that will need to be made on each step, right? So I'll carry on and move to quickly to customer journey mapping. Now, oversimplified methods for understanding your customer journey and how exactly it is we can, okay, an oversimplified method for understanding your customer journey and know how to lead them to you. Basically, your customer journey map, right, is a visual representation of every experience your customers will have with you. It helps you tell the story of a customer's experience with your brand from the original engagement and hopefully into a long-term relationship. So what every business wants is a situation where their customers can say, when their customers can come into their businesses, right? They come into the business, they see the business, they interact with the business, and then for the business, the customer that came that one time keeps coming and even becomes an advocate for your business, right? So if you don't plan and expect your customer to know you, love you, and to stay with you as a business, you cannot randomize this. It needs to be planned for, and it needs to be accommodated for, and they need to be kept in the system, right? So it's not going to happen by chance, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So this is an example of a customer journey map for a car company, a company that sells new cars. So the things that make up this journey mapping in a nutshell is your customer. Who is this person? Once you get to know who this person is, you are able to now consider the different ways that this customer, Eric, for this car company will get to know about you and lead him from the day he heard about you to making the choice to purchase. So what are the different ways Eric could possibly hear about you? You could see a TV commercial, he could see an ad on Facebook or social media, whatever, or he could be recommended you by a previous customer, which is important that your customers leave good reviews for your business, right? Okay, so from hearing about you, the next step he's going to take is to Google you, come to your website. Now, if he comes to your website, one or two things can happen. He could be happy that the website is great for shopping, or he could be disappointed and say that this is not what they advertise. This looks weird, right? Then upon coming to your website, he can see that you have a list of cars, and then he can see certain features in the cars and see what he likes and what he doesn't like, right? Then the second thing would be that he could come there and see that you don't have enough options, or you don't have enough information about each car. So if, for example, he's a car enthusiast, he wants to see things like convertible. This car is a classic from the 1960s. If he's a car collector, right? So he wants to know certain things about the car in specifics, the colors available, the mileage in each car. Is it a brand new car? If it's used car or it's a classic car, based on the company and what it is you guys sell. So he can either be really happy about the things that are available for him to see, or he's disappointed by some of the quality of the listings and he doesn't have enough photos, right? Now, this might be on your website or your mobile app, depending on your business, right? So what the next thing in a customer buying journey, after he realizes he has a need, is to explore. Now, when he has explored, he's going to compare. He's going to do a comparison next. He's going to compare with all the different car models and choose. Then he's going to go into, who are all the different people that can give me this car that I'm interested in. When he has done that, he's going to place your business alongside. If he has chosen a car that your business sells, there are other businesses that sell that same car. He's going to pick a car, and then he's now going to compare all these cars based on the pricing, based on the colors available, based on how much information each site has, based on maybe mileage, based on price, based on how safe he feels the car is, based on the reviews that other customers have, right? So he's going to do an extensive comparison between other options and other available things. So you knowing that he's going to hear about you in Facebook, on social media, or from reviews, what are you doing in your business to make sure that he sees you? Are you going to do ads, right? Are you going to make sure that your website is accessible and easy to understand? Are you going to make sure that there are enough pictures on your site? Are you going to make sure that everybody that comes to your site can live there knowing fully well that, they have enough information and it's easy to buy? Is it easy to buy? Is it easy to buy, right, on your website? Is it going to be like 4 more steps between when they've they've decided to buy and how to pay. Like you go to some websites, you don't know how to pay. And if you cannot collect your customers' money, you're not running a business. It's quite simple, right? So going forward from there, the next step is to test. Now, by the time he has seen, like he started this thing with just, oh, which car should I buy, right? I need a car. To he has chosen from like 10 different specs of cars to like one car or two cars, right? Then he has narrowed down to like 3 different dealers, people who deal cars. So he's going to go to car dealerships. He's going to now enter cars and start the cars. Now, do the cars in your dealership match the cars on the website? Right? Now, does the hair you advertise match the hair or the website? Now, these are the things that make sure a person is happy with with the experience that the person had and comes back to do business with you next time. So the person visits, he takes notes about each car, he starts the car, you know. Now, this is the journey from consideration to exploring to comparison to testing your product. Then he negotiates on a price because this is a car and he sells that. This is a car journey, but it might not be this way for your own business. So the question is, have you started that? Sit down, put yourself in customer journey. The thing that everybody needs to understand is empathy. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. What exactly are the things you need to see that will convince you to buy from somebody? If you've ever bought anything in your life, if you've ever bought a bag, if you've ever bought a wristwatch, if you've ever bought a pair of shoes, what convinced you to buy that one and not from another person? Put yourself in your customer's shoes and think through from when they hear about you to when they compare you with other people to when they compare other products. What is the thing that you have that another person will not have in your descriptions? And then create communications that will make the person feel comfortable with buying from you. So what are the expectations you have? Is it good photography? Is it a video of the product? Like, so will you now create how-to videos? Now, these are the things that you need to think about coming from your customer's perspective. Have empathy for that customer, right? And then come up with all the different scenarios a person could be in for the person to need your product, right? If you have empathy for somebody that is buying something from you, you're very likely to solve the person's problems, understand their pain points. So now the things to think about is are who are you selling to? Who are you selling to, right? What are their pain points? Have empathy for them. And how are the different ways you can reach out to that person, right? And what are the steps the person is going to take between when person hears about you to when it is the person decides to buy from you, right? That journey, think about it from one end to another and think about the process. And then what are the things they are going to need to hear from you? What are they going to need to hear that will convince them to now finally drop that money, right? So FAQs, think about it in your content plan. Think about frequently asked questions. Think about the things the person needs. Is it a blog post? Is it a how-to video? Okay, is it a very nice skirt that is a wrap skirt? Maybe you do fashion. Is a wrap skirt that people are not sure. This skirt is fine, but by the time I buy it now, I'll now not know how to use it. A how-to video, right? A how-to video on like 4 different ways you could wear this wrap skirt might be the thing. The person that might see the versatility of that skirt and decide, you know what, this skirt is the answer to all my problems, right? And then they end up buying that skirt. So what are the different things? That's why I put content plan underneath the communications. What are the different things the person will need to see to tip the person over and make the decision to buy? So this is a very simple thing. I came up with a very simple business, right? A business case study, wardrobe merchants, a rental dress company. The person are a female UNILAG student with aspirations to become media personalities. What are their needs? A wardrobe that looks amazing on a very small budget. And they don't want to, because they're going to be in front of the camera with their YouTube channel or their makeup page, they don't want to have to wear the same dress over and over again. So they need a rental dress company, right? So what are the outreach methods? Social media, door-to-door visits in their hostel, and a website, right? They need an e-commerce store, maybe for example, Zafia.com. Now, these people, what they do is they give 3,000 naira for a month and people can buy from you anywhere in the country, right? So you need an e-commerce store and you need to be able to consult. So are you going to have a digital consultation series? Tell people things like, oh, these are the type of stripes you should wear under these conditions, XYZ, things, style tips. FAQs and about us page, a way to return clues, right? Easy pickup, easy returns. Make it easy for people to understand what your process is like. I give testimonials of people that have used your business and then they haven't had problems with you afterwards, right? So, yeah. So once you have a strategy in place between what your goal is for your business and how to get there in broken down steps very easily, right? And you have empathy and you're able to map out your journey from when a customer hears about it the first time to when they have made the decision, to going through the journey with them to make the decision to buy. What you're going to do is run a very successful digital business. The way you heard about this session, what made you register for this session? What made you hear about it? Think about it. Like, you're registered for a session right now. Is it because it was free? Write it down. Is it because it was easy to register for? Is it because we sent you the login details and you did not have to look for the login details? What made you register for this program? What made you sit through a 30+ minute talk, right? What are the things that kept you here? What were the needs you had and how did we respond to those needs, right? How did you find us? I don't know if you understand where I'm going from with this. So think about it and think it through from how we will hear about you and your business to how we will make the decision to buy from you, right? So these are the questions you should ask. Do we have any other questions? We have just 5 minutes left. And did you find this satisfactory? We are going to be sending out a survey very soon, latest tomorrow, to everyone that has participated, so we can get feedback from you and know what exactly it is that your needs are in your business and what it is we can do for you at Nkali to make your business more successful. So do you have any questions? Any questions? None? Can I make another customer journey map for another business? Yeah, no worries. So like we talked about, for example, now these guys are a dress rental company. Yeah. A journey map for these people will be, number one, how will people become aware that you exist as a business? So there's the outreach here. You go on social media, you target Unilag, you target females in Lagos between the ages of 18 and 24 on social media to do a promotion, for example. And you can go to Look, you can go to Unilag, you can go to Lasso with flyers and drop your flyers and explain to people that, oh, guess what? We run a rental dress company. Yeah. And when people do that, oh, you can wear and return to us, we will wash and keep for the next customer. We wash and iron and keep, basically, and explain the process to them so that they don't have to keep buying clothes when they can have a monthly. You cannot decide that, oh, people pay monthly or pay outfit or monthly and can get like 10 outfits every week, for example, right? You go from door to door. Then this is how you reach so what are the concerns they will have? Are the clothes clean? Then the concerns that they might have will be that you've partnered with laundry services. Then you put the laundry services logo on all your flyers and on all your pages on social media, so that they can know that you do this and it is clean. Now, are you afraid people will forget about you? You create a mailing list. So you start from the process of when a person will hear about you to the process of when they will choose to buy from you, right? So for example, and this is just a very small example, but if whatever business you run, the journey map will be different for that business. I don't know if this has been clear. Has this been clear? Is this applicable to your business? Please just let me know in the comment section. Did this hit home in any way? Thank you. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you. Can you, Stephanie, thanks for your answer. Would you be able to apply this in your business? Would you be able to, Sally? Especially the strategic strategies, strategic plans here, from goals, breaking your goals into everyday tasks. See, something I will let you everyone know is this. It's not in the big thing you did in your business, right? But it's in the step you took every Monday between 10. If every Monday between 10 and 12, what you do is send emails to all your customers or send them SMSs. Every day on Tuesday, if you're in fashion business, you go to the market on Tuesday, only Tuesdays, to fill your business with threads and zips. Yes, I think this is more like letting your company know what your business structure is in with like applicable standard. Yes, I will send the templates for the strategy. Yeah, it's not only letting your customers know, but it's in letting it, making it easy for them to choose you. So including creating communications. If, for example, you're a restaurant, right? It's not in the same kind of content I need to see if you're a fashion company or if you're a dress rental company or if you're a restaurant, right? How food is made, and how clean your kitchen is something that will matter to your customers, right? If you're a coffee shop or you sell breakfast things, it's not the same kind of company, the same kind of content we need to hear. So from how they hear about you to how you make it easy for them to buy from you. These are all the things. But I'll send these templates out. Thank you everyone for your time. Our time is up today. Have a wonderful evening. Send us an email on nkaliadvisory@gmail.com to talk more and to know how our services can help your business. Thank you so much.